Welcome back to another live stream, guys. We are out here hanging out with the goats. We're gonna do a little bit of fence repair, get some stuff set up. I just looked over and one of my goats looks absolutely like something you'd see in the jungle. Not the jungle, like Africa. She's sitting there, just barely head sticking out of the grass. It's zoomed in, but zoomed out. She looks like a gazelle. Knife making, how you doing? TH Outdoors, howdy guys. We're just gonna do a little bit of fence repair here. I wanna move Gabby out to that field back there. And so we're just gonna hang out, chill, chat, and get that set up. And enjoy some coffee, of course. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. Let's just, hopefully I don't mess things up by going too far away from the Wi-Fi. But let's sneak out of here. I don't want to let all the goats out. Nope. I only want to get out here. I've got two goats already kind of out. One of them, look at Maple. Maple's trying to figure out how to get under the gate. She's close. She can almost do it. Exquisitor, how you doing, friend? Today marks 2 weeks post back surgery, and I'm feeling fantastic. So yeah, kudos to the surgeon. That was a big success. We might have to grab some tools if we're gonna make this work. The goats, see, I have a bunch of permanent electric fencing. I just haven't set it up because I'm waiting for my C-can to show up. And so the goats, they'll come through the temporary wire here. The cow won't touch it, but the goats, they'll just push until they break it. And so you're constantly repairing it. So every time the goats get out, they jump a fence or climb under or over, they get out and they break the dang fencing. So I can't let the cow into this field. So I keep having to put the cow back into that field. I want the cow over here. So anyway, always something to do. Gotta make sure I keep this lid open. But happy Monday, friends. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Monday. Got a couple things I'm gonna do here. So at the electric fence here, I'm actually going to move these wires lower because I know my cow's not gonna come near. Don't worry, I already turned the fence off. We're actually gonna lower these wires down a bit, make it a little more hard for the goats to come through. So I really don't think my cow's gonna try it. And we want the goats to be deterred. I also got a piece of barbed wire there that I almost have to move up. But we'll cross that road when we get there. I see we got a bit of a crowd here. How you guys doing? We're just hanging out in the fields here. I was about to do some work on some fencing to keep these guys in, and my cow who's coming to say hi. Here comes Gabby running right above my coffee cup. Hi, Gabby. And here she is. She's really excited to come over here. I don't have the electric fence turned on right now though, because I was gonna work on it. So I think we're gonna trust her. If she breaks out, I'm gonna be frustrated, but we're gonna let the cow out. Sean says, get back to work. How's it going, Sean? We're gonna let the cow into this field. But Gabby, come on, push your way past the goats. I don't wanna let the goats out. I only wanna let the cow out, not the goats right now. Gabby, come here, Gab. Oh, yes, Gabby. Come on out. Hey, Mimi. I want Gabby out, not you. Come on, Gabby. Come on, Gabby. And Evie over here wants back in. Come on, Gabby. No, not you. There we go. Come on, Gabby. Oh, this is the farm life, guys. It is so tricky to manage the goats. Okay. I want the cow. Come on, Gabby. Evie, you can go in. No. Gabby, come on out. Evie, go in. I'm gonna be doing this little tug of war for a hot minute here. 1 second, guys. Mimi, you stay. Gabby, come on. Come on, Gabby. Gabby, come on. Come on, just shove your way past everyone. Oh, yes, Gabby. Tell her I said move. Sean says move. Come on, move. And Evie, you're also in the way. You go in. How's everyone doing? Happy Monday, guys. Gabby, I want to let you out. I want you to come onto this side of the field. Good girl. Come on. Now don't let anyone else by. Yep. Come on. Good girl. And we close the gate behind her. There we go. Don't mind my sign. It got bumped. It's a little crooked. And Sean says, thank you. I am from Scotland. Well, hello. Welcome to Northern Canada. We are up here at our off-grid homestead trying to manage the animals. Now, my cow, here's the nice thing about electric fences, guys. Once you've trained your animal to an electric fence, it doesn't have to be on. She doesn't know that the electric fence isn't on. In fact, we're going to try to bring her out to the farther field. If the stream gets a little iffy, I'm going to turn the Wi-Fi off, so bear with me 1 second, guys. Hopefully, sometimes that's a seamless transition. Sometimes I lose you guys. But I want to bring the cow away from my Wi-Fi. When I'm in and out of Wi-Fi, when I'm in the halfway zone, the signal gets awful. But I want to bring my cow out towards the backfields. So I need to open the backfield up and let her in. Fun fact for those of you who are just coming to the stream, I had spinal surgery 2 weeks ago today. 2 weeks ago today. And I'm supposed to be like bedridden for 6 weeks, but I'm feeling fantastic. So we're out in the farm fields. How are you guys doing? Jessica, hi. I see you there, Jessica. Let's look at my lovely lake back here too. Gabby! Gabby! I want to let you over here, Gabby. Come here, Gab. Come here. I want you to come out to this far field. Gabby! She's thinking about it. She's thinking about it. She's saying, what are you doing? What you doing over there, Dad? What you doing? Elizabeth, welcome back to the chat. And our friend with the Asian name is saying, looks so beautiful. Yes, it is. Please tell me what your name would be in English so that I can say hello properly. Come on, Gabby. Also, how did the goats just get out? I locked you all in. I didn't let you out on purpose. All of you got out? All of you? How? At least they're coming this way. They want to go into the backfields. Bear with me. I'm just moving the electric gate wire. I want to get the animals out this way. Come on, guys. Come on over. Come on, Gabby. Come on, Gabby. Come on, Gabby. Come on over. I want you to mow the grass over here, girl. Come on, girl. Good girl. Good listening. Got to talk to them like they're my children. And our friend with the Asian symbol says, my name is Postic. Well, hello and happy chickens. Hello. Guys, feel free to go subscribe over to Happy Chickens if you want to see some happy chickens. I know I did. Come on over, guys. I'm trying to convince them to come over here. I got to be the pack leader. I need to herd them. Oh, they'll come over here. The grass over here. So let me show you the difference, guys. This side of the field has been picked pretty thoroughly. This side is beautiful. Thoroughly picked, beautiful. So I want to get them over here into this nice grass. Come on over, guys. You're doing really good, everyone. Oreo, come here, Oreo. It's okay. Oreo's just a little bit further behind than everyone else because big meanie Faye tends to throw headbutts. And so you've got the giant pack of animals here and Oreo. Hi, Georgia. How are you doing? And Tommy, welcome back to the chat, Tommy. I see you pop in every once in a while, but I want to say a good, warm hello, Tommy. And happy chickens, given the waves and the hellos. I hope everyone here is having a absolutely fantastic Monday. I know I am. We're just hanging out here with the animals. And so if you guys want to chat about anything specifically, feel free to chat. Otherwise, we're just enjoying the farm life. We're enjoying the animals who are going the wrong way, and the lake, the day. Gabby, come on, Gab. Hey. See, so an electric fence is a psychological barrier. Once they're trained to it, they don't want to touch it. They don't really like to test it. If you have a cow that is really testy with their fence, it's going to be harder to train them because they're always going to check if it's on. That does happen. But if you've got a cow like Gabby that you know, she's not going to try it. I currently don't have it hooked up. I have the electric fence turned off because I'm recharging the battery. I got to fix a couple wires because the goats don't respect it. The goats will push through. And so the goats broke a couple wires. So I got to fix those wires. And Postic asks, is it Canada? It is. Cheers, friend. Welcome to Northern Canada. We are up in the far north. This is my off-grid homestead with my animals. We just sent our pigs to the butcher yesterday. So the homestead got a little bit smaller and the freezers are going to get a little more full. So yeah, basically we've got out here, although they're getting farther away and farther away. Gabby, come on. Come on this way. The grass is greener over here. We have, of course, our cow, our goats, rabbits, ducks, chickens, and we had pigs, but we just sent them off to freezer camp. Here's a tip, guys. If anyone here ever decides to try doing pigs, raising their own pigs, if you're going to be renting a trailer like we did, because we don't have a cattle trailer yet, we just rent. I'm trying to get this to stand up. If you're going to rent your own trailer, what you're going to want to do is rent it at least a week, if not 2 weeks ahead of time. We did it about 5 days ahead of time, but we're very hands-on with the animals. The animals aren't afraid of us. We're not afraid of them. We spend a lot of time together. We call them. We actually sing to our pigs. I raised the pigs in the forest back here. I raised the pigs in the forest. And when I want them to come, I call them by singing. You know, we give a good, you know, I'm Tom Bombadil. I'm a merry fellow. Give a good old Lord of the Rings shout out there to Mr. Tom Bombadil. And when you belt it at the top of your lungs, the animals come and say hello. So we had an easier time. It still took us about 4 or 5 days, and we got 3 out of the 4 pigs into the trailer very easily and very quickly. That last one, I had to get some help, and we had to get behind him with some pallets and just, I had my wife with some grain and honey in front of him, leading him in, and we just had to kind of box him off and keep him moving forward. Once he got onto the ramp into the trailer, he went right in, but the other ones went in on their own. No persuasion required. The last one required a little bit of persuasion. But if you get them used to eating and drinking out of the trailer for a week or 2 ahead of time, so they're not afraid of it, you're going to have an easier time. If your pigs have never been in a trailer and you just bring a trailer and hope to get them on that day, good luck. Good luck. They are a smart animal. Pigs, they say pigs are equivalent to like a 3-year-old. And just think about how stubborn a 3-year-old can be. Now imagine trying to get a pig on that knows it's about to get trapped and doesn't want to go into the trailer. It's not going to be that easy because 3 years old is pretty smart, man. We're going to walk over towards the animals because we want to hang out with the animals. And our friend says, I live in Korea. I really want to go to Canada. I've never been to Korea. I have some friends from Korea. Canada is absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at all of this. I have 156 acres of land up here in the far north. So again, I'm very far north. There's my solar panels somewhere over, that's a duck house, over there. I've got the solar panels, we live off grid. Land is really cheap up here. So I've got 156 acres. It's a peninsula. You see this lake? That actually wraps all the way around behind the forest, all the way back around the fields and up. There's only one way in and out of my property. It's through the road over there. And this is my own little piece of paradise. I'm super blessed. I have a wife and I have 5 children. And I've got, of course, all my animals here. So for those who want to know a little bit about a little bit, these goats here, none of them are for food. These guys are all for breeding and for milk. So we breed our goats. We breed our cows. Gabby over there is pregnant. And we breed the rabbits, the chickens, the ducks, we hatch eggs. The pigs were seasonal. So I bought pigs that I just butchered this season. They got to wait. So we were letting our pigs forage in the forest. They were living on the other side of the fence over there. And I did train them to electric fencing, but I gave them about a half an acre of area, and they were foraging in there. So our pigs were foraging in the forest. We were giving them constant supply of hogs feed. This is northern Canada, my friend. We were giving them constant hogs feed, and I was giving them expired groceries. So what happens is the closest grocery store to me has a program where every day us local farmers go to the store and pick up all of the expired food. We each pick a day, so I'm every second Monday. And so I go to the store, I pick up all of their expired produce. And you might think, expired food, it's not that bad. It's mostly Mondays are the day where they do a stock rotation. And so I take all the food that is no longer to be on the shelf. So there's like, I would say less than 5% is like bad, like throw in the garbage or compost. The rest is all really good. And so I give that to the animals. So my pigs got to 300 pounds in 5 months, just under 5 months. 300 pounds in 4 to 5 months. It was about a month sooner than I thought. I thought I wasn't going to be sending the pigs to the butcher for another month. And then when I checked their weight, I was like, wow, these boys are getting big. But yeah, welcome to my Northern Canadian off-grid homestead. I have a beautiful wife and 5 sons. My sons are 8, 6, 4, 2, and 0. They're all 2 years apart. And fun fact, I had spinal surgery 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I had to have spinal surgery. And I'm feeling fantastic, guys. I'm doing really, really well. I'm getting more imaging done on Friday, and I see the surgeon again to discuss the results of that imaging. I'm supposed to be bedridden for like 6 weeks. I did a 4-hour live stream 2 days ago. Like, I'm feeling really good. So cheers to modern medicine, and cheers to everyone's thoughts and prayers, because I feel fantastic. Pamela says, hola. Hola, Pamela. How are you? We got some goats in the background here. Got my cow over there. At some point, I got to fix the electric fencing because I have it turned off. My cow doesn't know that. But I'm figuring if I fix the electric fencing here soon, then I don't have to worry about her. Right now, I let her out in this field, but I want to stay close because I don't want her taking off on me. But yeah, anyway, it's a lovely day out here. Happy Monday to everyone. And you are from Paraguay. And let's show John. John DeFree says, thinks he's a cowboy, never stepped in a cow turd in his life. Bro, you don't even know, man. You don't even know. Look at the bottom of that shoe. I literally have a cow right there. We are in northern Canada. I'm in the far north up here. That's why I'm wearing a jacket, because it is cold. And yeah, think up towards Hudson's Bay. We're up towards Hudson's Bay. And John, just for you, we lost like 20 followers with showing them my poopy foot. So there you go. Estos Unidos. I'm sorry, Pam. I don't know. I guess is Paraguay Spanish. This seems like Spanish. I do not speak Espanol, my friend. No hablo Espanol. Only English. Up here in Canada, I know a little bit of French. Je parle le petit français, mon ami. And I know a lot of English, and I also know a little bit of sign language. Some ASL. It's hard. My phone, everything's backwards on my phone. So when I try to hand spell, it confuses me. English only, por favor. Sorry. But yeah, my children and I are, so we homeschool our kids. And so we are learning sign language as a secondary language. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy sign language. We're going to keep migrating over towards the animals, because it's nice to have the animals in the background with us while we're just having a lovely hangout session with y'all. But if you guys have any questions, any concerns, any plans for the week, I'm here for it. So feel free to chit chat away. Let's just move over here. There we go. Keep these guys in the background. I wanted to move them into the backfield. here's something kind of cool, guys. Here's a fun little tip. And Mark says, Mark from Michigan, I enjoy your channel. Mark, thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. And Happy Chicken says, it is a lovely day here too. This plant over here, guys, this is called rose hips. Rose hips. These berries, these are called rose hip berries. Now, they're pretty bitter. And so what you want to do is you want to wait until the first frost. Chicken on biscuits knows what's up. He's saying make tea. Yes. So these rose hips, they sweeten up a little bit when after the first frost, but you really don't want to eat them. You can, but you don't really want to because they're full of seeds. But you can. Really high in vitamin C, and I believe it's really good for you if you're pregnant. Don't quote me on that one though. Don't sue me if I'm wrong on that one. But rose hips, you want to harvest them after the first frost, and you make tea with them. Just put them in your hot water. Put them in your tea, and yeah, you're gonna get antioxidants and vitamin C off of them, and it's good for the woman's cycle. Okay, see, I was close. And Ernie says, do you have your wood up for the winter yet? No, I'm very behind now. I was planning to. I've got the skid steer. I was going to be dragging a bunch of wood out of the forest and that I downed last year. So I dropped a bunch of massive trees in the bush last year, and I let them stay down to dry out. But then I had spinal surgery 2 weeks ago, and that's thrown me way back. Now I have about 2 cords of wood split. A cord of wood is 4 feet by 4 feet by 8 feet long, nicely stacked. I've got about 2 cords. I need 10 to make it through the winter. I have 2 already, so I'm good for another couple months. But while I had spinal surgery, I'm kind of out of commission on the wood splitting for probably another 3-4 weeks at least. I'm supposed to take it easy for 3 months, but you know that's not happening. I'm supposed to be lying in bed right now, and you know that's not happening. So yeah, we're behind on our wood supply. If I get desperate, I'll order a load in, but there's still time. There's still time. And Brooke at Large Family Homestead says, hi, how are you? I'm feeling fantastic. Happy Monday. And guys, go check out Ernie's cabin if you guys want some really rustic, feel-good home life content. We're talking outdoors with the chicken at the cabin. Go check out Ernie's cabin. And if you guys want to see someone who's living that farm life, go check out Brooke at Large Family Homestead. If you guys go over to Large Family Homestead, you're going to see people who are harvesting honey, milking their cows, and just raising all of their animals and doing the things that farm life does. Different vegetable harvests, recipes, guides, tutorials. You know you're going to love it, so go check them out. And Matthew, how you doing, Matthew? Matthew says, hello, everyone. Cool to see y'all here. Here's Gabby. The flies are loving her right now. Sorry, Gabby. And yeah, since when it started, how long have we been streaming? We have been streaming for 23 minutes. My wife and kids are, they went into town for swimming lessons, so they'll be gone for a couple hours, and I figured I was tired of lying around all day. Let's get out here. I'll probably post it as a YouTube short just for funsies, but I did some painting with the kids this morning. Part of their homeschool, we were doing learning about ocean life, learning about killer whales and things like that. And so we did some ocean scene painting, and I'm very proud of my painting. I'm just saying, just very proud. Beautiful painting. And so I might do a little fun YouTube short about all the kids' art and mine, because I'm the biggest kid. And Happy Chickens is giving the wave. Yes. So I moved Gabby over here. The goats broke the electric fence over there. I wasn't going to let the goats out, but you know how goats are. They got out anyway. And so once the goats are all out of my hair, I'm going to rebuild the electric fence wire later and lock Gabby more in this area. I'm trying to move her into the back fields, but she's still hesitant to go there. So I took down the electric wire over there, and I want to get her back in there just because we are at that time of the year in northern Canada where the growing season has slowed down a lot because it's been really cold. And so I want to move her out of our main field and into our secondary and tertiary fields. I want to, you know, like you can see, the grass is fantastic over here. So I want her spending a lot more time over here, because if you see behind the trailers, that green tarp, underneath the green tarp is a bunch of hay bales, and I don't want her to start eating out of that. I don't want to have to start feeding her until just before the snow flies. I want her eating all this grass. So that's why we're just hanging out with Gabby, keeping her over here. And she is a good girl. She's very, very pretty for a cow. She's got some thistles on her forehead. Gabby, you're ignoring me. She's ignoring me. And she is lovely. She's a very good cow. She is pregnant right now. We expect a baby in the next spring. And we are getting 2 more heifers, 2 more cows in a couple weeks. And so, yeah, we recently built a really good relationship with another local farmer. Being up here in the far north, it's really good to have friends and people you can rely on. And he's been letting us rent and borrow and use his cattle trailer, which has been fantastic, because we brought all the pigs to the butcher yesterday. And I don't have my own trailer yet. The tough thing is, in today's market, to get an old used trailer, you're looking $5,000 to $7,000. But if you're someone like us, where you're just doing this as a hobby farm, like keeping it small, I can see us in the future growing to farm level. Right now, this is just kind of self-sustaining for ourselves. We don't really have a surplus. So I could see us down the road getting to farm status. At that point, it'll make sense for us to buy our own trailer. But think about it this way. If you only have to move your animals, let's say twice a year to the butcher, then renting a trailer only costs me like $100 to $200 per use. And so, you know, you're looking at 10 to 20 years worth of renting before it makes sense to own your own. That being said, within the next 5 to 10 years, I'd like to grow this out to a more profitable farm, at which point then it'll make sense. We want to start breeding pigs next year. And if we're breeding pigs, definitely a big thing we can offer is delivery. Nobody in the area really is doing a lot of pigs. So if we're breeding our own, like when I got pigs, I had to drive 3 hours each way to go get them. And so if I can be the local guy breeding and selling pigs, and I have a trailer and I can deliver them, that's going to start making a lot of sense. But for now, we just rent and borrow. And Spicy Chocolate says, "Hi, handsome. How you doing, Spicy? I hope you are having a fantastic Monday." Derico says, there he is. How you doing, Derico? Large Family says, "Our one girl got broken out by the bull, LOL. Now I need to get pieces to fix the gate. She was the only non-pregnant girl, and we didn't want her pregnant. Funny how they show you." That happens with the goats. I try to separate my goats because it's nice to be able to time their births. It doesn't work. It is so hard to separate them. Every time I fix the fence, they find a way to climb it, jump over it, sneak under it, get out when a kid forgets to leave a gate closed. And you just have to assume if they've been together for more than 5 minutes, he got someone pregnant. And so, welcome to farm life. Ernie says, "Do you have another heat source? If not, are you thinking of getting one? Wood is hard on the back. You want to heal." So I have propane as a backup. I really don't like using it because up here in northern Canada, I'm in the far north, like way up in the middle of nowhere. It is so expensive to have furnace oil delivered. The first year I was here, before I put the wood stove in, I put a brand new propane furnace in the cabin, thinking, okay, we'll use that. That should be enough. October, November, December, I went through $3,000 worth of propane. Those are the warm months. End of December, I put the wood stove in, and I think it only cost me another $1,000 for the rest of the year in propane, because I was very diligent on using the wood. Now, here's my thought. I'm skimming the auctions. I'm looking. I want to get a clam bucket for my skid steer, and that way I can drive into the bush. I can grab some of these logs, just clam bucket. I don't have to get out, use chains like I normally do, and then I can drag them out. I can lift them up and cut them at a nice working height. I do need to wait until my back is fully healed before I can do that. But the goal is to use the machine to save my back as best as possible. At the very least right now, I can lift the logs I've already cut and dragged out. I can lift them with the forks, lift them up to a good height, and then just buck them up there. I can have my wife just kind of push them along as I'm chopping them between the forks. So I am trying to save my back as best I can. And like I said, if I need to order a load and pay someone to drop me off a few cords of wood, I'll do that. And Large Family Home says, we don't own a trailer either. We give our friends milk and they let us use theirs. Honestly, things like trailer sharing and renting and just doing that whole farm trading makes a lot of sense because, like I said, if it's going to take you 20 years to pay back a trailer, the other guy has one that's going to take him 20 years to pay off the trailer. And so if you guys are sharing or renting or making deals, you know, a little bit of meat for a little bit of trailer use, it's a win-win for everyone. Because for us farmers and homesteaders, your cattle trailer is going to sit, oh boy, we're falling over. Your cattle trailer is going to sit for, you know, at least, what, 360 days of the year? You're only going to use it a few times a year. So if you can rent or share it with other people, it's going to see some use and it's a good idea. And honestly, in the homestead farming community, we're a friendly bunch. We get along with each other because we all know how difficult it is to do this. And so for the most part, bro, one of my goats is on a 6-foot tall bale of hay. She is athletic. She got on top of that somehow. That is Elsa, and she is a parkour goat. Look at her. She just flew off of that thing like Superman. And Big Mama Faye is fighting with Little Bast. Anyway, Happy Chicken says, that is a good trade, milk for the trailer. And Large Family Homestead says, make sure you all like and follow @MyWildlife. You know what's crazy, Brooke? Up here in northern Canada, all across Canada, I can't even say just northern Canada, but all across Canada, it is almost more illegal for us to trade and sell animal milk as it is for us to sell narcotics. I could almost get more jail time selling illegal milk. They have us by the gonads. You are allowed to drink your own harvested milk and unpasteurized milk, but technically up here in Canada, we are not allowed to trade or sell animal milk. The regulations and rules around milk are insane up here in Canada. I have been drinking unpasteurized goat milk for like 7 months and I haven't got sick. We just make sure we do it really, really clean. I mean, I muck the barn every second day. And so I know the barn is super clean. It's got fresh straw in there all the time. We use betadine, which is an iodine mixed. Gabby, we keep the udders really clean and we make sure we do it right. But yeah, it is insane, the milk trade up here. You got to keep it super hush hush. What some people do in this area, if they are selling goat's milk or cow's milk, is they will label it as for pet use only or not for human consumption. And that way you can kind of get around it. You can say, I'm selling it for their pigs or for their dog or for their cats, because that's legal, but not for human consumption. It's crazy. And Brooke says, it's the same here, but we give them animal grade milk. We don't recommend they drink it. Okay, we're on the same page. We are on the same page. It is wild. It is wild. But yeah. It's crazy times we live in. Crazy times we live in. You know, the problem is, I like to say it's kind of like the solar tax that went on in Los Angeles, where, you know, all these guys are getting Teslas and then they're realizing that they're not paying for the road infrastructure because they can't tax the electric vehicles the same way. And so they're not making as much money to fix the roads. The government doesn't really want you raising your own animals, butchering your own animals, selling the meat and milk and resources from your own animals, because they're not making tax. They're not making money to support, you know, the bigger commercial farms that they're forced to buy expensive equipment, which pays more taxes, etc., etc., etc. And so, yeah, the mom and pop shops have a harder time of turning a profit. But that's okay. For us, we are still small. We are a homestead. And so Gabby girl, she's here for breeding. I think what our plan is, we've had 2 cows butchered already, But I think our plan going forward is just to continue breeding cattle, selling off the babies. And I'd like to get our herd of cows up to 9 plus a bull. I'd like to get 9 plus a bull. I've got about 30 acres of field here, about another 120 acres of forest. I plan to keep pushing the forest back and moving my fencing back to allow the animals to use more and more of the forest. And so I'd like to get this up to about 50 acres of usable pasture and forest land, and then get our herd count within the next, I would say within the next 7 years, I'd like to get us up to 10 cows and then be breeding them. At that point, we could be raising their offspring for resale, and we'd be doing pretty well for ourselves. If you're going to sell off in today's economy, assuming, I'm going to give you guys a little farm math, up here in Canada at least, assuming things stay with today's market pricing, a cow born this year will sell in October, November for around $3,000. And so if I have 9 cows giving me babies, let's just round to 10 for easy math, then we are going to get $30,000 a year off of those cows. Of course, you're going to have some who aren't successful at achieving pregnancy, and some that just don't give birth. You might have a twin or two, but let's just say you're making around $30,000 a year on 10 cows. I know a lot of farmers who say the sweet number is 70 plus, but again, to have 70 plus is not quite where you want it. And Large Family Homestead says 3,000 is ready to butcher size. No, 3,000 is ready to breed the next year. So what a lot of people do is they'll raise a heifer in the spring to the fall, sell it to a farmer who wants to breed next spring. And so you give it to another farmer, and that way you don't have to feed it all winter, because that's going to be expense. So not much, but you're probably looking at about $400 to feed it throughout the winter. So that's $400 you're going to lose. It's that much more difficult to raise them. You know, you got to deal with freezing water and moving the hay around and rotating the animals and keeping the pens clean and all that. So most people sell them off in the fall. Those ones that are sold in the fall are not for butchering. Those are for being raised throughout the winter to breed in the spring. If you want to sell them at butcher size, they're about 18 months old, a year and a half old. So the following fall. So you get them to the fall, one more year, those guys are closer to $7,000. You can make around $7,000 selling a full-size ready to butcher cow. But yeah, most people generally just try to sell them off as a yearling. Same year heifer. And DJ says, how's the bacon? The bacon just went to freezer camp yesterday. We delivered them to freezer camp yesterday. So hopefully, I just bought a brand new freezer to help fit them. So hopefully that goes well. Happy Chicken says, bye y'all. It was nice looking at your animals. Love your cow. Have a nice day. Take care, Happy Chickens. I hope you have a splendid rest of your day. And DJ says, yummy. Yes, so the pigs went to the butcher. I should have most of the meat ready to pick up by Friday. And then mid the following week, the bacon and ham. Basically everything that's just like pork chops and stuff, ready to package meat, I'll get right away. And then all the stuff that's got to get smoked will be a week later. So yeah, I got to organize my freezers, and hopefully I can fit all this meat. That's the goal. That's the goal. I'm looking around because I lost my goats. My goats went for a little walk. They're probably hiding under the house or causing some shenanigans somewhere else. My goats broke my electric fence wire over here, and so I need to fix the electric fence at some point. That's why we're hanging out with Gabby. We don't want her going wandering off into the grass, and so we want her mowing down this field of nice, beautiful, lush, edible grass. And DJ says, send me some bacon. You know what, buddy? At some point in time, in the future, here is my whole YouTube fantasy. Here's my whole dream of this adventure. In 3 years, I'd like to build another house on the property. In 4 or 5 years, I would like to start renting this house out as an Airbnb. At that point, when I'm renting this house out as an Airbnb, and what Ernie says, take care, y'all, coffee is over. Back to the wood pile. Have a great day. Ernie, you take care of yourself and enjoy cutting that wood. I know if you go into it with the mindset that this is a fun activity, it is a fun activity. Gabby, come away from the electric fence. It is not turned on right now. Gabby, come here. Come here, Gabby. Come on, Gabby. I want to bring her towards the backfield. I don't want to have to worry about her. Come on, Gabby. Let's go, Gabby. Come on, Gabby girl. Come on, the grass is greener over here anyway. I turned the electric fence off and I don't want her to know. Gabby, come on. Come on, Gabby. Gabby. Come on, Gabby. I need you. Come on, Gabby. Good girl. Good girl, Gabby. Come over here. Come on, Gabby. Listen to my voice. Come on, Gabby. Move. That's what they say when they move. They're just saying move. Move. Come on, Gabby. I took the fence down. Come on up here. Come on the hill. Come on, Gabby. I think she's listening. You don't want her to figure it out. I know if she learns that she can get through the fence right now. That's the problem with the goats. They try to show her. They try to teach her. They're like, yo, Gab, the fence isn't even on. I don't want her to know that. I want her to come into this back field. I want her back here where I don't have to worry about her. Come on, Gabby. She's right at the line. She just passed it. Come on, Gabby. Come on up. Come to the top of the hill, girl. And so I want her to come up here where the grass is fresh and fantastic. And then I don't have to worry about her. She's hanging out up here. We don't have to worry. Come on, Gabby. Come on. Come on up. The grass is greener up here. It tastes juicier. It's sweeter. That cow life though, eh? So anyway, what I was saying before I got distracted by her almost getting out of the electric fence was we are going to start in this timeline of, eventually renting this house out as an Airbnb. We are going to be breeding our own pigs starting this spring. And my suspicions is I'm going to have plenty of pigs and we can do some pig roasts. So maybe we can have, at some point in the future, we can have some sort of event where we do a giant pig roast. And we can have a big fire going. We can roast a pig over the fire and have a giant beach party or something along those lines. I feel like this is attainable. I feel like we can make this happen. I just want to wait to start bringing people out to the homestead until my kids are older because y'all can be crazy sometimes. And so I got little children. I need them to be a little older before we start introducing them to this lifestyle. Currently, my mindset is fully that I keep my kids off of YouTube. We live off grid, right? So my kids have no screen time. Very minimal. We did watch the Minecraft movie yesterday. I rented it, but we try to keep our kids off of screens because there's so much to love out here and so much life to live that they don't need to be on screens. Because I evicted my pigs, they're no longer living in the forest. My kids have been having a blast going in that area because the pigs cleared the whole area out. And so all the big trees are still standing, but all the small trees are down. So my kids have been spending the last couple of days just running around the forest like maniacs. And I love that. I love that for them. I would rather my kids be out in the forest dragging logs out of the bush and building little lean-tos and having a good time than sitting on a screen. And so I don't want to establish a screen addiction for them by having them involved on YouTube. Second, I don't like the idea of people using their children for views. It can be done very well. It can be done properly and well. But there are times where you know that the YouTuber is telling their kid, hey, do it again. Smile better this time. Hey, smarten up. I'm trying to make a video. Hey, Lily. Lily's in the back fields over here on that side of that fence. Anyway, I see people who, I don't like using the word abuse, but people who do abuse their children for views. And so I keep my children off of YouTube because I want them to develop their own personalities and be themselves. I don't want them performing on the screen. That being said, this is something that I enjoy a lot. This is a hobby that you know, I enjoy making YouTube content for fun. And so I don't want to exclude my children either. I only am making content like this when my kids aren't home or are sleeping. They're currently not home, so that's why we're on here. But there are times where I show my kids the videos I make and they enjoy it. And so there are times where my kids might find a cool snake or a cool frog or a cool mushroom. And I'll encourage them to come get me and we'll go take a little video of it and I'll teach them about it. I'll use it as a learning moment. We'll collect the mushroom. We'll go to our foraging book. I'll teach them about it. And then I'll even let them help me make a video. The other day, my kid found a blue spotted salamander in the forest. And so we took a video of it. I had him help me come up with a script, a voiceover, and I had him participate. My oldest son, he's 8. I had him participate in making the video. But I didn't have him featured on the screen at all. It was just a voiceover. And I was fully there and involved with him. It was a collaborative learning project, and I think that's okay. But if I were to try to feature him on the video, I'm kind of against that myself. And Mark says, I totally agree with the screen time, and Large Family Homestead says, good for you. Me and my siblings pretty much had no screens as kids. How was the Minecraft movie? I never saw it. So I grew up on screens all the time. So it wasn't until I was older that I managed to move away, albeit as I say that, I'm sitting here talking to you guys on a screen. But you know how it is. The Minecraft movie was pretty good. It made me want to play Minecraft, and I have never played Minecraft. So kudos to them for making a movie about a popular video game that makes people want to play said popular video game. You know, Jason Momoa and Jack Black, hard not to enjoy. Really funny movie. It fell short on some parts. It was definitely intentionally trying to be one of those over the top, not too serious. It wasn't taking itself serious. It wasn't expecting you to take it serious. The plot was a little loosey-goosey, but it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable. It left you with room to imagine what they could have done with it. You could imagine sequels. I think as far as a family-friendly movie goes, it was pretty good. So yeah, I'd give the Minecraft movie, if you don't have children, it's like a solid 6 out of 10, 7 or 8 out of 10 if you like Jack Black. And if you've got kids, it's a good 8, 9 out of 10. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. It was enjoyable. I did catch myself falling asleep towards the end, but that's not the movie's fault, you know, spinal surgery and stuff. So, yeah. Lily's out there barking in the forest. She's seeing something. It's got Gabby spooked too. Lily, either come here or go eat it. Go eat it. Go get it, Lily. Go get it. Anyway, beautiful day to be hanging out on the homestead. It is a super happy Monday. I really cannot complain. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day too. I'm trying to think about what else we got going on in the near future. Recently, I posted a video about a really awesome mushroom we've got growing on the property. It is called the violet chanterelle, also known as the pig's ear mushroom. It's a really cool edible mushroom. Tastes fantastic. I've been eating it for a few days now because it's been popping up all over the homestead, so I've been foraging it lots. This is one of my favorite times of year, the fall. Up here in northern Canada in the fall, we have so many edible mushrooms. And so it's just so much fun to go wander in the forest and just spend time in the forest. I might do I'll hold back a second. I need to get to a point where I'm allowed to bend and twist and lift. Right now I can't. So when I'm out mushroom foraging, I bring my kids because I can't harvest the mushrooms myself right now. But once I can, I want to do some vlog style videos. I've done some in the past and they're a lot of fun, where I just go out foraging for mushrooms a la vlog style. The forest is too dense. This is my forest behind me. My forest is too dense to do a live stream. I lose connection to cellular when I go into the woods. And so I can't really do a live stream adequately in the bush. So I would rather just do a vlog. And that way I can still go find some cool stuff and share the experience with you guys. And Carson says, good morning from Carson in Charlotte, North Carolina, the USA. Well, good morning, my friend. We are out here in northern Canada on our off-grid homestead, hanging out with one of our cows. This is Gabby, and large family. You had asked if I milk a Gabby earlier. Sorry, I saw it, but I never responded to it because I was going off on some sort of rant. We don't milk Gabby. She is a black Angus, and so she is purely designed to produce quality meat. And so her milk is not going to be very tasty. Black Angus are known for having like a more bitter milk and a low yield. You're not going to get a lot out of it. It's not going to taste very good. And so we do not milk her. Maybe when she has her baby and her baby's ready to wean off, we might milk her a little bit just to make some cheese or something that you could flavor, something that you can enjoy a little more. But that's why we have the goats. We use the goats for our milk. And Matthew said, Mark said, do you do any hunting up there and what season? Yes. So hunting up here is from mid-September to mid-December, September to December. And normally I hunt out this back field way back here. I block off the back field so that the animals can't go back there. And that's where I hunt white-tailed deer. And in the bush, I hunt for wild hare. You know, think rabbits, but technically rabbits and hares are two different things. I hunt wild hares and a lot of grouse. We've got a lot of partridge. We've got ruffed grouse, sharp-tailed grouse, and spruce grouse, 3 different types of pheasants that live in the forest. And so we do a lot of hunting in the forest. This year, I probably will not do any hunting. 2 weeks ago, I had spinal surgery. I'm really supposed to be taking it easy for the next 4 more weeks for sure. 3 months, I'm supposed to be on light duty. And so that's going to basically run me out of my deer hunting season. And so, deer hunting is hard on the body. Usually when you shoot them, you got to then drag them out. You got to winch them into the trees. You got to spend an hour or two butchering them, processing them. And I think this year our freezers are pretty full. I think we're going to be fine without getting any deer. I think we're just going to take it easy this year. We're going to give the deer population a break. Last year we harvested 2 deer off the property. This year I think we'll take it easy. It was last year hunting off my property. It was the best deer hunt I've ever had in my life. Long story short, because I was able to hunt in my own backyard, the setup and watch time was nothing. I set the deer feed out on Tuesday. I set my tree stand up on Wednesday, and I shot 2 deer on Sunday. It was super quick. And Brooke says, got to go, need to finish last minute prepping for the bee club. Let's talk later. Take care. We will chat again soon. And Jill said, enjoyed you during my lunchtime. Again, good to see you having a good day with the animals. And Kevin said hi. Thank you, guys. And Matthew had said, who put your pants and your shoes? Who put on my pants and my shoes? Matthew, let me finish my deer story and then I'll get to that. I did a little YouTube video to give you a little more details, but it was the best hunt I'd ever had. I got it set up and harvested my deer in next to record time. It was a perfect day. There was light snow flurries. I like to hunt when it's cold like that because it keeps all the bugs away. And I saw the deer walk from the back field, way back there, way back on that back tree line, way back there. I was set up by that brown tree right there. And so I called them. They were about 200 yards out. 240 yards out. I called the deer in. They started walking towards me. I had a feed pile positioned at 70 yards. I called the 2 deer in. They were really responsive. It was right in the rut. They were really responsive to my deer calls. Sorry, I'm trying to set you guys up in the grass without falling over. And so I keep kind of bouncing you guys. There we go. And so I called the deer over from 240 yards to the feed pile at 70 yards. I was getting ready to take my shot and I decided, I was like, you know what? They're super responsive. It was a buck and a doe. So they're super responsive to my calls. Every time I called, they came towards me, took a few steps. And so I thought, you know what? Let me try calling them a little closer. 70 yards is an easy shot, but I thought, why not? And I managed to get them about 30 yards away. Really, really close. And so I was able to drop the buck. I reloaded and I dropped the doe bang, bang, back to back. They both, like, I was using a 300 Savage at 30 yards. It literally, I knocked one over. The other one, instead of running, ducked his head down. I reloaded and just shot because I had it in the chamber. Reload and shot. And so I dropped 2 deer in less than 30 seconds, 30 yards away from me. It was a perfect 10 out of 10 hunt. I will never have a hunt as good again in my life, I'm sure. So fantastic. And so if I have to miss this year, if I have to skip hunting this year, it is what it is. That's okay. And so Matthew asked, who put your pants and your shoes on? So pretty well the first couple days I had to get, for those who are listening and don't understand, I had back surgery 2 weeks ago. So the first 2 days I had to get my wife to help me put my socks on and get dressed and stuff. I couldn't bend at all. But pretty well after the 3rd, 4th day, I've been pretty self-sufficient. And fun fact, I mean, I'm still not supposed to bend, lift, or twist, but this was the first time. I'm just watching my chickens. My chickens are all running they're all running. What's up, chickens? You guys good? I don't see any predators, so I'm sure they're fine. This morning, I had like a really feel-good moment where I was able to stand, lift my leg all the way up, and put my socks on. That might not sound like much, but for the last 7 months, I have not been able to put my socks on without sitting down. My back has been so badly pinched that just putting my socks on every day, I have to sit down to put my socks on. The fact that I could lift my leg that high and put my socks on, again, I'm not really supposed to, but the fact that I could and it was pain-free, it was an easy process, was fantastic. I am really, really looking forward to my healing journey with this spinal surgery. Things have been going... Lily! Lily! No! Sorry, guys. She almost caught a duck. She had one. She had a duck. Lily! Come here, Lil. Lily! Here she comes. Lily! Come here, Lily. What did I tell you about eating ducks? Come here, Lily. Lily. I told you, girl. Sit. Sit. Stay. I told you you're not allowed to... Hey. Listen to me when I'm talking. Lily. Lily, come back here. You're not in trouble. We're talking. Sit. Sit. I told you you're not allowed to eat the ducks. No, look at me. Lily. Look me in the eyes. No, Lily, no eating ducks. Lily. Lily. Do you understand? Lily. Lily, sit. Lily, sit. Do you understand? You're not allowed to eat them. They are friends, not food. Do you understand? Okay. Good girl. Oh, some people's dogs, I tell you. I tell you. She was, I heard a giant commotion and I looked over and she was on top of a duck. We are going to leave Gabby over here for a bit. We're going to walk down there. We're going to go check on the ducks and make sure everyone's okay. Yeah. That's the tough thing, man. Trying to teach your dog not to eat your poultry. It is in their DNA. It is wired into them. They want to eat the ducks. Gabby, you got some thistles on your forehead. Can I help you? Can I help you, girl? Oh, let's try to stand this up for a second so it doesn't drop into the weeds. Gabby, you got a bunch of thistles on your forehead. Let me help you. Gabby, I want to help you, girl. Gabby, let me help your forehead here. Oh, if I wasn't holding a copy, I could hold the tripod. Oh, Gabby. She's a good girl. Oh. Gabby here is a black Angus cow. She is a choice cut of meat. She is for breeding. She is pregnant. And we will have a baby in the spring. But we want to... The thistles don't bug her. You know what? I have a brush. I have a cow brush that I brush my cow with. And My closest neighbor is a cattle farmer, and he was over visiting one time, and he stopped by when I was brushing her, and he kind of laughed at me thinking I was ridiculous for brushing my cow. But I mean, that's the difference between a homesteader and a commercial farmer. She's a pet. She's not just a cow that's going to the butcher. She's a pet. And so, yeah, we brush her, we take care of her, we snuggle with her, give her lots of love and pets. I have a lot of farmers, so a lot of commercial farmers find us homesteaders crazy. Gabby, hey, Gabby, stay over here. Gabby, I want you to stay in this tall grass. I don't want you going into the other field. I want you to eat this grass up here, okay? You stay and be good. You stay here. She's gonna follow me. I know she's gonna follow me, but the grass is better over here. So anyway, a lot of people think we're crazy. Like when I go to get her on a trailer, a lot of times what farmers have to do is they have to lock the animal in a barn and then drive the trailer right up to the barn. And then we're gonna leave her up there. I think she's gonna stay. They will drive up to the barn, load them right from the barn right into the trailer. I just drive my trailer onto the road and I let her out of the electric fence and I walk her onto the trailer. We've done that with all of our animals. The pigs, 3 of them were easy. 1 of them needed some convincing. But people tell me, like, you're not going to get your animals in if you just try to walk them to the trailer. You need to force them in. And that has not been our experience. But again, we're hands-on with every animal. We spend a lot of time with the animals. And so we're not a standard farm. We can get by this way. I'm trying to think. Okay, definitely the goats got out this way. This is how the goats keep getting out. So I raised up this fence. This fence here, the other day, I used the skid steer and I lifted it up higher. But I might have lifted it a little too high. So I put a board down here temporary until I can fix this proper. But this corner got raised, and so I put a piece of plywood there. The goats obviously undid my plywood and snuck out. So I need to cut some wiring and do some proper wiring there. But oh well, for now, it is what it is. Oh. We are going to go back into this field and go hang out with the ducks and the chickens for a little bit. We're gonna go make sure everyone's feeling good and happy and safe because Lily, my dog, just chipped them. So let's do that. And I really need to learn. You know what? I'm probably gonna figure it out on the fly here, at least a temporary way. What I'm gonna do is I am going to get us set up over by the ducks, and then I need to run into the house and grab something quick. And so I'm going to just put you guys on a quick MIA mission for a second. I don't want to end the stream because I'm only gonna be a minute, but let's just set us up this way and then I'll be right back. Let me go put my coffee cup away. Okay, bear with me guys. I'm going to just put up a message on the screen so people know what's up. I'll be right back in 2 minutes. This is totally not the best way to do it, but we are doing it this way. Anyway, this is I'll be right back in 2 minutes, guys. Be right back in 2 minutes. Gabby, you stay there, okay, girl? You stay on that side of the fence. I just gotta run into the house quick. yes, squirrel. Hi, Gabby. Do you really want back in this field, Gabby? Okay, sorry guys, I am back. Let's end that poll. Okay, sorry, I didn't want to end the stream, but I had to use the urination station quick. But I didn't want to do that in the background on the live stream. So we ran in the house quick. But we are back. Okay, what we're gonna do next, we're gonna go hang out with the ducks. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. I like to think I know a thing or two about ducks, but if you guys have any specific questions, I would love to answer it. Let's flip you guys around. Okay, here are some chickens and ducks. Hello, everyone. I'm gonna do a little head count here, make sure everyone's here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, there are. So over here is 14 apple yard ducks. Sorry, I am all over the place. Ancona ducks, 14 Ancona ducks. A-N-C-O-N-A, Ancona. And then these two golden tan colored ones right there and over there. Those are buff Orpington. The darker one right there, those guys, are apple yard ducks. And then the white one is a Pekin duck. Of course, we've got Horntail the rooster and a couple of his ladies hanging out. We got a couple of chickens mixed in with the ducks. Horntail is a stud. There is one more rooster, but I believe he's in there right now. But Horntail is he's the main rooster of the farm. It's interesting with their pecking order. You know, he is the alpha rooster, and so he's the one who lets out the morning call. He's the one who lets all the ladies know, I am awake and ready to party. And so he is the one who wakes us up at 4 in the morning to say hello. And I'm here for it. I love it. I love listening to the rooster. I do not get annoyed at all. I think it's just such an organic, awesome call. I think it's fantastic. And the ducks are out here foraging for some bugs. They are just being adorable. Oh yes. Let's flip around. And so let's talk a little bit about what the plan is over here. So I have my ducks and chickens in this area over here, and I'm currently fencing off this area. I'm gonna fence off this area, and somewhere along here, probably at the end of it, question mark, I'm gonna put in a gate so that I can still get my machine in there, because it's nice to be able to muck out. There's Horntail letting out that beautiful rooster call. I'm gonna put a fenced gate over on this side so that I can easily get in with the skid steer, because it's so much nicer to muck out the chicken coop and the duck house with the machine, because then I can shovel it all in and just drive it away. So I'll put a gate over here, and then in the corner I want to put another gate, because I actually will take you for a little walk over here. Hi goats! The goats hear the rooster calling and they want to come say hello. So you can kind of see it here. I have a trail right here that runs into the forest. It also goes in over there, it loops around and then goes back. So I'd like to put a gate here so that I can easily drive my skid steer into there. Drive the skid steer right into the trail from this side as well as the other side. But it'd be nice to be able to go in from this side for harvesting firewood and stuff. I could then drag the firewood out and just use the skid steer to drop it onto the other side of the fence here for all of my processing. Or I could process it right in this area, because the wood chips and bugs are fantastic for the animals. There are a surprising amount of grubs and beetles and bugs that live inside of wood. And so when you drag it out and you buck it all up, it's a lot of treats for these guys to pick through. And so I plan to do that. And then I plan to build somewhere just up this area, I would like to put another gate in and build a coop for my forest raised pigs. So let me show you something, guys. My forest here all the way along is super, super dense. Super thick, super dense, you know, lush vegetation underneath. I moved my pigs into this area, about a half an acre of area, and you could just see the difference on how much they clear the land and forage. So thick, dense bush, much, much thinner, chewed up the ground. They tilled it all so that it's gonna have fresh growth. And so my plan is to continue year after year, moving the electric fence down further along the property and further back, and just let them clear this out so I could then take this fencing and move the fencing back. And right now I'm at about 30 acres of pasture field. I would like to get that up to about 50 acres of pasture field. And so if I rotate the animals through, I think the pigs, I think they'll do a very good job of making that happen for us. Mark says, was it hard to find your property that you were looking for? So this property here is really 1 in a million. First off, the price was really good for the time. Second, it's 156 acres of a peninsula. So we've got water all the way around, no neighbors in the immediate area. Really rare to find this much waterfront property for an affordable price. The reason it was an affordable price was that the house we're living in right there was a 3-season cabin. It was a small 900 square foot seasonal cabin. I put an addition off the backside, and so that brought us up to about 1,300 square feet. And then I fully gutted and redid the whole cabin. So the cabin, I had to insulate it. So I stripped it down to the studs, insulated it, insulated the flooring, spray foamed it, gave it a little more rigidity, and then just fully renovated the thing. So I probably put about $70,000 doing all of the labor myself, about $70,000 into upgrading the cabin into a house. So one, it was easier to find it because it was not as desirable by some people because it's a niche market who is going to want to go through the work of living off grid and doing all this renovation to make the house livable. And Chad says, hey, good to see you. I have been very busy. Chad, welcome back to the chat. We missed you. I hope you're doing really well. I hope life is treating you with lemonade. And so because the house was a lot of work, it made there be less competitive buyers. I'm up in the middle of nowhere, up towards Hudson's Bay in the far north, less buyers. Number three, the couple who owned it were Americans, and so they didn't know a lot of people up here. So normally this kind of property, it goes by word of mouth before it ever hits the market. So these kind of really large, one-of-a-kind pieces of property tend to sell to friends and family before they ever go to market because it's such a treasure that people want to keep it amongst people they know. So it's really hard to find these kinds of property. This couple was American, and this was right during COVID. They weren't allowed to travel. They didn't get vaccinated, so they weren't allowed to come to Canada for like 3 years. And so the property was left abandoned for 3 years. At that point, they decided just to sell it. They were getting older. They were an older couple in their 80s. They weren't able to come up here. You know, they were no longer getting health coverage when they came to Canada because they were having some health issues. So they decided to sell. I'm friends with one of the main real estate companies that does this area. He kind of gave me a little bit of a, hey, you said you were looking, there's this property coming up. And so I was able to get out here like the day it listed, and I came and explored. And what I did when I came here, because I'd already done all the Google mapping and stuff, I really didn't care the condition of the house, the cabin. I knew it was seasonal and I was going to be putting a lot of money into it to get it livable. What I wanted to see was the land. I've had property before with land, and I understand, and here's something important, guys. 156 acres of swamp is worth nothing. If you can't use the land, it's not worth anything. 156 acres of high ground that is usable is worth $1 million. And so the first thing I did when I came here is I went into the forest. This trail wasn't here. I put this trail in. it was just forest like this. I just started bushwhacking, and I spent about 45 minutes just straight lining it. I just bushwhacked, exploring the property. And then when I got back out, my wife was looking at the house. I was looking there. I said, does the house look doable? She said, it needs work. I said, well, the land looks perfect. And so we decided to buy it. My plan is to build another house on this property. And so this is a get us through house until we build a new one. I did put a bunch of work into it because I knew we'd be living here for a few years before I build a new house. So I did put a lot of money and time and love into this house, and I still have a little more to do, but that's kind of the gist of it. I wanted to make sure the land was good. The land is good, and yeah. I hope that makes sense. And Chad says, I'm doing okay. Got some chickens, and I implemented a roll-out nester. Work still in process. The straw doesn't let the eggs roll out, but it does work. I'll show you my little chicken coop. And Karen says, both of you are truly blessed. I agree, thank you. I have 5 sons. That was another thing, is this land is big enough that I know that I can support my children on it if they decide that they want to build on this property, or they want to, continue living out here. Chad, I don't think were you a mod? I don't remember taking it away, but we can give it back. I don't remember taking it away. There you go, my friend. And this is my little chicken house. It is a somewhat mobile coop. I say somewhat mobile. I put wheels on it, and I can move it around, but the thing weighs probably 400 pounds. And so I typically just use the machine. I use the skid steer to push it around. And the other reason it's their temporary house is this one is not insulated and heated. This one I've got it, I'll spin you around. I've blocked off the side and the front, and of course there's the roof. And so they've got areas to get out of the wind and the rain. Of course, I let the chickens free range in the yard, so it's not as big of a deal. But I built the front wall and back wall for the sister coop, which is going to be insulated and heated. And I'm going to basically butt that one up behind this one. So I got this coop here, and then the insulated one will button up behind here. What I'll probably do is, let's just look at this for a second. I'll build the sister coop behind it with the tall side over here, and a tunnel ramp up, and then slanted this way so that the snow keeps falling off that way. And then that one will be insulated. So come the winter, they can still come out into the yard. I'll leave the door open so they can come in and out if they want to go into the snow. But then they can just come into the tunnel and into their heated coop when it's cold. And I'll probably just put a flip up access off the backside, a flip open access to the backside so that I can keep it clean. And then I will build that one raised at least a foot or 2 off the ground, just to keep it warm and stop snow from blowing in. So that is all in the works. And Mark said, you have the dream property. Thank you, I do. When I saw it, I couldn't not buy it. To make this dream, to make this life happen, there were sacrifices. We had a gorgeous property, a gorgeous house on a lake in a city. Now, thankfully, during COVID, because of the housing shortage and the insane inflation that happened, the value of that property doubled. So we were able to easily sell that house and buy this and have extra money to renovate. So we were really blessed with the market, but we had an already done beautiful house, 2,400 square feet with an attached garage in a city on a lake, 5 minutes from where I was working. And so we were really blessed that way. But then COVID happened and life got really crazy. The rules and restrictions up here in Canada got really crazy. And so we made some, basically what happened is I had a business trip out in Montreal. And so my wife and I and the kids decided to drive. I decided to take them with me to my business trip so that they could explore Montreal while I went to work. And so I brought them all with me, and we had a long drive. You know, we drove for like 3 days to get there, 3 days. And so, oh boy, Bast, are you okay? Faye is fighting with Bast, and she wasn't very gentle. Anyway, we had a few days to drive there, a few days to drive back. And during that drive, we had lots of time to talk and chat. And we were talking about the state of the economy, the state of the world, the state of politics, and all that fun stuff that married couples talk about. And we came up with our 10-year plan. Our 10-year plan was within 10 years to buy a piece of vacant land on the lake. We wanted acreage on the lake. And then, while still living at our current house, we'd buy this property. And then by the end of 10 years, we wanted to build a new house and sell that one and move out there. The thing with a 10-year plan is the moment you start thinking about a 10-year plan, it is no longer a 10-year plan. It is a now plan. It is we're talking 10 years, meaning as of right now, I'm going to start keeping my eyes open on the market and see what comes up. And as soon as you see one, you end up buying it. And then this property came up with the cabin. It was out of our price range. If we kept the other house, we wouldn't have been able to keep the house and buy this one. And so we made that tough decision. We sold our beautiful house on the lake in a city, moved out here and bought this place. And then I spent the first kind of, well, when did we get it? I spent the first 2 months going really hard renovating the house. And then I got a little bit sick and I needed to have a series of surgeries. I ended up having 5 surgeries back to back to back, which was rough. It took me out all winter. In between surgeries, I was still renovating the house. So I was putting in the wood stove, I was building the barn, I was building the fences, doing everything. Basically, I'd have a surgery. I would spend 2 weeks recovering. I would work. There'd be complications, probably because I don't know how to take it easy. I would then need to have another surgery. I would then recover. I would work. I would then need another surgery. This went on for like 6 months. It was awful. But I managed to get the house to a very good state during that time. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it hasn't been an easy journey, but it has been a very rewarding and a lot of fun journey. Everything you kind of see around us, we built. This place was just an abandoned 3-season cabin. So we've done a ton of work in between having terrible health issues. Hopefully we are all fixed now. The first health complication that I was having all those surgeries for is resolved. I'm good. And then I blew my back out, old hockey injury. So 2 weeks ago we had spinal surgery. So that was fun. That was definitely a thing. You know, close your guys' eyes for a second if you don't want to see it, because I'm about to show you guys. It's not much to see, but this is where I had spinal surgery, right there. So they had to go in through my back and remove 20% of my L4, L5 disc because I blew it out. And so they had to cut out a whole whack of it. And so I'm feeling actually really good. I'm still healing because it's only been 2 weeks today. But considering I had spinal surgery, I think I was only really bed rest for 2 days. They were telling me it was going to be 6 weeks. They were saying that the expectation was by the end of 6 weeks, I should be able to stand for 30 minutes at a time. We have been live streaming for 85 minutes right now, and I feel fine. The other day, I did a 4-hour live stream at like 10 days after back surgery. It was a huge success. I feel fantastic. And honestly, today was the first time in like 7 months that I was able to put my socks on standing up. For the last 7 months, my back's been blown out and I've had to sit down to put my socks on. And even then, like putting my socks down, because my back was so thrown out and my disc was blown apart, I'd be red in the face, the veins bulging in my hands. I'd have to hold my breath just to get my leg high enough to get a sock onto my foot. Like it was rough for like 7 months, but I was so used to it that I just kind of ignored it and kept doing my life. I was trying to stay ahead of my back fully blowing out. That's why I bought the skid steer. I had been going to the gym 4 or 5 days a week, just trying to make sure my body was in as good of shape as I could be, getting the machine so that I would have to use my body less, and I still blew my back out. So But that being said, I should be set up for success going forward. My chance of re-injury is way higher in the first year. Now that I have the machine, I won't be bending over to do all my firewood. I can lift the firewood up to me and just dragging the trees out of the bush. What I was doing is I'd use the chainsaw, I'd drop the trees. I would then buck them into like 8 to 10 foot lengths. I would use a chain. I'd have to lift them, get a chain around them, hook them onto my quad, back them out of there. And then I would have to lift them into the box of my truck and drive them out. Just a ton of labor, hard on my back. Now I have a machine. So it cost me a lot and it was a gamble. I'll show you guys. Let's go for a little walk. So I bought a tracked skid steer. I specifically wanted a machine on tracks because these farm fields come the fall get super wet and super soft. It's all clay underneath here. And so I've got some old tire ruts over here. You can kind of see, you sink right into the stuff. So right here, tire rut, you can kind of see my foot here disappearing. I really need to fill that in. I've got some gravel over here, but I got to fill that in. Why does it sound like my goats are in the feed shed? They should not be in the feed shed. We got to go evict them. So anyway, before I go evict the goats from the feed shed, this is the machine I bought right here. And so the reason I say it was a bit of a gamble is I bought it at a sight unseen auction. So I bought it at an auction and it was 21 hours away from me by road. So I ended up driving to go get it. I didn't see the machine. I was just banking on the description, the pictures, what I know about machines. And yeah, I bid at it at a live online auction. I ended up buying it. Guys, everyone out. Usta, usta, usta hablan gato. Usta, usta. Usta, usta, read all about it. Usta, usta. Come on, guys. Come on, goats. Out, 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 out. One way or another. In or out, in or out. Okay, I'm pushing you out then. You coming in? Okay, okay, let's go, let's go. Ah! Everyone out. Everyone out. They're not listening at all. Out, out, guys, out. I'm gonna pick up a broom and I'm gonna use a broom to shoo you. Shoo, 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 shoo. You too. Hey, you. You're not scared of the broom. Out, 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 out. Out, guys, out. Out, out. Out, out, out. Out, out, out. Out, out, out. Out. Out, 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 out. Out, out, out. Why go back in when I want you out? I want you out. I want you out. You guys are going to get stuck on the other side. Okay. I had a piece of wire here holding that door closed. We'll use this for now. That should stop them from getting in there. I had a proper clevis on this door. I had a hook there, a clevis. And you know what I was telling myself is, I was saying, I need to tie a rope to that clevis and screw it to the wall so that you would just, if you let it go, it would just hang there. Of course I didn't. And one day my wife undid the door and lost the clevis. And so we just haven't been locking it, and the goats have learned they can open the door. Now, what I want to do with this shed is I want to remove these doors and just put in a normal door, a man door. So I'll just frame that in, put in a normal doorknob door, and that will stop the animals from getting in there. So that's the plan. That's the plan. But for now, we have a broom, and we have some goats on the wrong side of the fence. So we need to go get the goats. Oh, they did come out of there, but we got to close the door because we don't want the chickens going in now. That's the other thing with the that door is I put a door all the way through, and I framed that in. However, you can't close the double door. You can't close the double door and the other door at the same time. So, you know, not when I wanted to shoo them out. Anyway. And Chad says, so are you going to use the logs to build your log cabin? No. The next house is going to be like big and glorious. It's going to be a work of art. It's going to be fantastic. I'm going to actually end up hiring someone to build the next house. I'll do some of the finishing work myself, but because I still work a full-time job when I'm not having surgery, because I still have a full-time job, I don't expect myself to have time to build my next house. And if I want to get it done and I actually want to move in, come on up. If I actually want to get it done, I'm going to have to hire someone. There we go. You guys want to see something fancy? This door here, I actually took a door, I flipped it upside down, hence why this is the tall part, because it was raised off the ground. I wanted my kids to be able to open the door to get in and out. I flipped it upside down, and for the locking mechanism, look at this. That is just a screw. I just put a screw there, so this locks against the screw. Beautiful. 10 out of 10 carpentry right there. But as far as log cabins go, I built this one for fun. So this was all logs harvested off the property. I harvested the logs off the property, cut them to size, dragged them out of the bush, and debarked them. And so this was built for fun, as a fun log cabin build. It was a lot of fun, pretty easy to build. And yeah, I did do normal standard framing for the trusses. You know, it's peaked A-frame. Yeah, but yeah, I did build that for fun. It is now a year old, so I know it will stand the test of time. I put it on blocks raised off the ground because if it settles, I can then just come in with the skid steer, lift it up, put another block under there to keep it level. And so I gotta go see the goats because I don't know if there's food in that bucket that they just got into. I don't know if my wife left the rabbit bucket out. Guys, what are you getting into? Is there food in that bucket or is it empty? Goats. Always causing trouble on the double. Goats. Hey, what's in this bucket? There is food in there. Who left the food bucket out? Okay, guys, get your heads out of the rabbit food. You'll get sick. Sheesh. My wife must have left the bucket out. Guys, I want the lid. Hey. Oh. Goats, man, I love them to death. They are my favorite animal on the homestead, but they are the most trouble. Yes, gable framed. Goats, here. Oh, hey, little man, get off her. Come on, guys. Come on in here. Gabby, don't you worry about it. Don't worry about it, Gabby. I'm just trying to trick them. I want you to stay out there. Goats. Gabby, stay. Gabby, I want you over there. She sees the bucket and here she comes. The goats are the most troublesome by far. Gabby can be. A cow can be trouble, that's for sure. But the goats love getting into trouble. Gabby, it's okay. I'm going to give you some just because you're being a good girl. But I really want you to stay over here eating grass. Here, Gabby. So this is rabbit pellets. This is actually right here. This is rabbit food, but the cow loved it. Gabby loves rabbit food. It's basically compressed alfalfa. Here, Gabby. My goat is eating the camera. That's why the camera's moving. Have at her, Gabby. Find it, pick it. These guys. I don't want to give her too much. You guys stay over here. Gabby, you stay over there. Gabby, I just gave you a whole whack. Hey. Have at her. Don't push my fence. There's no more. All done, Gabby. I just dumped it for you. Gabby, I just gave it to you. Don't you dare test my fence. Gabby, settle. I'm gonna hey! Hey! You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt. You are going to get hurt. So as I say, the goats are the most trouble. Gabby's now being the most trouble because of the goats. Gabby, empty. It's empty. I just threw it all out for you. I just gave it all to you. It's empty. It's empty. The problem with Gabby right now is if I let Gabby try to push this fence without stopping her, she's gonna get stuck in it. She's done it before. She can't actually get over the fence. She tries, but she'll get stuck. Gabby, it's empty. It's empty. It's empty. It's empty. There's no more. There's no more. And so she'll try to get over the fence and she'll get stuck. Gabby, I dumped it out for you, you silly girl. I put it all on your side of the fence. Okay, goats, you are causing me great distress. So I don't want Gabby breaking out. Okay, we're gonna lock the goats back in. Minus Oreo. Oreo can stay because she's being good. That was a lot of distress, guys. We'll leave this up here for now. Put that away later. Okay. Okay. Let's leave them for a second. And do you milk Gabby or your goats? This is my milking stand for the goats. And so I will milk the goats over here. The animals are stressing me out right now because I'm still on light duty because my spinal surgery. And my wife was supposed to fix the fence. There's a small hole in it from when we did some adjusting to it. And all the goats can get out. She was supposed to fix it and she never has. And so every time I lock the goats up, they get back out. It's causing me great distress. And I have to bug her. She's got to stop partying and work on the fence. And when I say my wife has to stop partying, I mean she's got to stop going to kids' birthday parties. She needs to fix my dang fence. Anyway, I digress. Goat, it's a garbage bag, man. It's a garbage bag. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Hey. I know it probably tastes lemon. It probably tastes like lemon because they sent them. This is Evie. Evie's my little dog goat. Okay. Okay, Gabby did find the food that I'd set out for her, so that's good. Anyway, Eddie says, nice hunting land. Thank you, it is. I had spinal surgery 2 weeks ago, so I think my hunting season is written off. I don't think I'll be able to do any hunting this year, but it is fantastic hunting season. We harvested 2 deer off the land last year. And yeah, this year I think we're just gonna have to take it easy, let the deer repopulate, and we'll do some hunting again next year. And how is the wife? My wife is doing fantastic. She is just, actually she took the kids out for swimming lessons today. So she is out at the closest pool. We're gonna hang out here by the, look, we have a wild duck. This lake has fantastic duck hunting as well because these weeds are all wild rice. And so the ducks like to migrate through here. The geese and the ducks migrate into here and it's fantastic duck hunting season. There's another one over there. But yes, fantastic duck hunting. Rifle or bow. So I've shot deer with the bow in the past. We're gonna stand this way. Something like this. So I've shot them with the bow in the past. However, the ones that I got last year were a buck and a doe that I harvested with a 300 Savage. And Lucy says hi. Welcome back, Lucy. How are you doing? I hope you are having a fantastic Monday. But yes, the goats are trouble. You know what they did? I'll take you guys for a little walk over here. So initially, one of my cows, Buddy, who is now in the freezer, Buddy chewed through my internet cable. And I have a Starlink here. Starlink dish, and he ate through my cable. And so thankfully it's 8 wires and they're color coded. And so you can just cut and splice it. Fun fact, you know, Starlink doesn't want you to know that. They want you to buy a new cable every time. But you can splice it back together. Just got to color match. It's not that hard. And so anyway, I fixed the wire, and then the goats since then were constantly, every time they go over, so I just used wire ties, pigtail ends, what do you call them? Just those orange wire nuts. And so I used a bunch of those to do all the wires back together. And so it was just a giant Christmas globe of orange morettes. That's the word I'm looking for, orange morettes. And the goats would go up to the morettes and they would chew and pull on them and they'd break a wire. And so I'd be sitting inside, you know, on the internet, maybe watching a show, and then all of a sudden I'd lose internet. And I'd go outside and sure enough, there's a goat chewing on it. Evie, you're not allowed in the house. She's trying to get into the house. Evie, she has snuck into the house a few times on us. And Matthew says we use Wago connections. I've never used Wagos, but they would eat the morettes, and then I'd go out there, I'd cut back more of the wire, I'd put the new moret on, and this kept going on for weeks where the goats would just chew on that dang wire. And so I finally, eventually cut it again just yesterday, and then retied it all, and I just put a wad of tape around it, and the closest tape I could find was just painter's tape. And so yeah, but my internet works, so there's that. In fact, we're gonna go back onto Starlink since we're hanging out. No point burning my data plan while we're out by the Starlink. And Austin's says hello. Hey Austin, how you doing, buddy? We are just hanging out by the lake right now. We were out with all the farm animals, but they were giving me grief and I just had to walk away. The cow was trying to push through the fence. The goats were trying to get into the rabbit feed. Everyone was just being pushy and causing me great distress. And so I left them. And Eddie says, put it higher up. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I put it on the deck because it's just easy access. I don't want to drill holes in the roof and put it up there. I could mount it to the wall, but it works really well where it is. But what I'm going to do, I ordered a new cable to have as a spare. So next time it gets chewed through, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take the Starlink, right there. I'm gonna take the wire, and I have the Starlink run. The router is inside the house. I drilled a hole through the floor, and then I came under the house and under the deck. What I'll do is I'll drill a hole up through the top of the deck. I'll run it through a PVC pipe. I'll run the wire through a PVC plumbing pipe, like an 1.5 inch pipe, and I will just use metal fasteners, screw that up to the underside of the deck, and then I will run it up into the bottom of the router, and that way there's no exposed wire for anyone to chew on. For now, it seems okay. The cow chewed right through the wire. The goats haven't chewed through the wire. They just keep chewing on the end that I've already fixed. They're just causing me grief that way. But yeah, that's part of it. I have a friend who tried doing goats once, and it did not last very long at all. The goats kept getting out of his fencing, and my goats are pretty chill. They get out of the fencing and they don't really cause any damage. The worst they'll do is chew on my dang internet cable, but it's already broken, so whatever. But his goats would go to all of his trailers and eat the wiring off of his trailers. So, you know, the plug-in ends to the back of your truck, they would chew all that up and eat that all. So after they did that to like 3 different trailers in his yard, he put them all in the freezer and vowed to never do goats again. I like the goats. The goats are basically dogs with more personality and less neediness. Of course, I love Lily. I love my dog. She's over there. Lily! Lily! Come here, Lil. Come here, girl. Who's a good dog? Come here. She is a yellow lab golden retriever. She's a fantastic dog. She's a 1.5 years old. Lily, what are we looking at? What are we looking at? What's over there? But the goats, other than one of them, Evie, who I call my puppy goat, the goats want to be near you, but they don't want to jump up on you, except for Evie, the one who was on the house. She likes to jump right up on you, and if you're sitting in a chair, she'll jump into your lap with you. In fact, when I have my baby, who is 4 months old, in the stroller, I need to make sure that goat is locked up because she will jump into the stroller with my baby, which is cute, but not safe. And so I got to lock her up when that happens. But all the other goats, they want to be near you, but they don't want to, you know, be constantly pet and loved and have that same bond. I think we're going to go for a little walk. Let's take Lily for a walk. Lily, let's go for a walk, girl. Come on, Lily. Let's go. We're going to take her for a walk. I've tried taking the goats for walks. The goats, though, they like to go in the forest. They don't like going down the road because the moment we get past my garden, they just want to go chew on the leaves. But Lily's a good doggo, so she wants to come for a walk. We're going to take a little walk here. So like I was saying, I had spinal surgery 2 weeks ago today. And so I need to take it pretty easy. Wrestling with the goats and the cow and that feed was maybe a little overdoing it, but we need to go loosen up. We need to take a little bit of a walk and stretch my legs. So we're gonna flip the tripod over to handheld. We're gonna go into handheld mode. And let's just take a little walk down the road. We'll see if we can find any mushrooms going along the sides of my road. And yeah, let's just chat. If anyone has anything specific they want to talk about, I'm all ears, eyes, and nose and mouth, so we can chat. This area here is where I'm putting my garden next year. This is gonna be my vegetable garden. There is my compost pile that I've been working on. This garden, I'm gonna mow all this down, so it's gonna come back. It's gonna be fairly sizable. It'll be from like over here all the way back to the hay bales. And then up here, up ahead, this is all raspberries and rose hips. All of this tall bushy stuff is raspberries and rose hips. We're sitting at 11.6 volts. For some reason, the solar panel is not charging. Oh. Okay, we're saying 11.6 volts, but we're reading that we're too low for the charge controller. So we're gonna leave it off. Let's just put the wire back on to hopefully charge. It looks good, but it's not. So we might have to boost it with the car battery. For now, let's leave that. And the Wi-Fi dropped. Hopefully we come back now, guys. Let me know if you guys can see me and hear me. I was in a little bit of a dead zone there, in between my Wi-Fi and out of my Wi-Fi. And then on top of that, I got a phone call and a voicemail. And what happens when you get a phone call is it drops your connection to YouTube and prioritizes the phone call. And so we are back. Sorry about that, Mark. We're going for a little walk. I already got Lily walking down the road. I was trying to get for some reason, I'm reading 11.6 volts on the battery, which should be plenty for the solar panel to take over and charge it. But I think I need to look at how I have my battery connected. I just might not have a good enough connection on there. So I might have to just take a look at my wiring and put a proper metal wire clamp on there. But anyway, we'll cross that road later. For now, we'll take a little walk, pay attention to the forest, see if we find any edible mushrooms. Lily! Lily's a little far ahead of me. I want her to come back. Come back, Lil! And yeah, let's just enjoy a little walk together. What I was trying to say before I dropped connection, I am all eyes, ears, nose, and toes, and elbows. So feel free to chat with me because I'm here chatting with you guys. I got the phone, I got the live stream, and I got you guys. So if you guys got any questions, concerns, plans for the weekend, we can chat. You know what we're gonna do? Lily, come this way. Lily! This trail is actually on my neighbor's property. They've given me permission to use it. I'd say we try it. Lily, come here. Come here, Lil. Lily, let's go. Except I want my dog to come with me. Lily, come on, Lil. Let's go, Lily. This way, Lily. Lily. She's chasing squirrels right now. She is out chasing squirrels. Lily. Lily, come. Come on, Lily. I might have to go get her. She is on the hunt chasing squirrels. Lily, come on. Come on, Lil. Good girl, come on. Let's go. Let's go this way. This way. We want to go down this way. This trail actually connects back into my trails, although I haven't, I'm going to say it again. I had spinal surgery, and so I haven't been able to groom my trails, but my neighbor has a lovely walking trail here, so I figure, let's go for a little walk. So anyway, we will keep our eyes open in the sides though and see if we can find any mushrooms. Lily, she's chasing a partridge. What you chasing, Lil? She's gone. She's in there. She's going after it, whatever it is. Come on back, Lil. She is chasing something. She is maybe a rabbit. She's moving quick. Lily, what are you hunting? What are you trying to find, girl? Okay. I see a mushroom in there that looks like a violet chanterelle, guys. Right here. Yep. These are edible mushrooms right here. These look a little bit old. But this right here is the violet chanterelle. This is a fantastic mushroom. This is a choice edible mushroom. I'm not going to harvest it right now. I'm going to save it for later. But that is a choice edible mushroom. And Mark says, time for me to go. I'm a subscriber now. Thank you, Mark. I've appreciated chatting with you. All the best. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Thank you for sticking around with us. And happy Monday, my friend. So that back there, that was a choice edible mushroom. If you guys want to learn more about the violet chanterelle, I posted a YouTube short about it today and a longer form video about it the other day. The long form video is going to tell you how to prepare it, how to cook it, all that fun stuff. The violet chanterelle, there are a lot of them out right now. It's a mushroom that I learned about just this year. I was on the hunt for the yellow chanterelle, hoping it was on my property. But I found the next best thing. It is still a choice edible mushroom, the violet chanterelle. Super, super stoked about it because the chanterelle is my favorite mushroom, and I'll put violet chanterelle in my number 2 spot. So excited that it's on my property. It might end up being my number 1 favorite mushroom just for the fact that it grows on my own property. Let's keep looking though. We'll see what else we find in here. There's some boletes back in there, but I'm not going to go bushwhacking for boletes. At some point, someone asked whether we've got wolves and bears out here, and the answer is yes. Yes, we do. I'm not too concerned. I prefer to bring my dog for walks just to help scare things away, but I come out here by myself all the time, and it's never been an issue. So yeah, let's just keep navigating our way through the forest. Keeping our eyes open for edible mushrooms so we can come back later and harvest them with the kids. I'll save those violet chanterelles for later, and my kids can help me harvest them. Lily, my dog loves to be about 20, 30 paces ahead of me. Jill says, do you ever see raccoons? No, so up here because we're not near a city and we're so sparse out, there are some areas where there is a raccoon every square kilometer. It's something like up to 3 raccoons per kilometer. Ours up here is like 1 per 100. There are almost none. They do exist. Someone sent me a picture of one that was maybe 40 kilometers away, like 12 miles away, something like that. So they do exist. I've never seen one on my property. But I mean, just like opossums, you know, even skunks, a lot of these animals are more nocturnal and are very good at hiding. So they can absolutely be here, and I just might never see them. I spend a ton of time in the forest, a lot of time. And Freemanent says, Carl, the Walking Dead, Carl, Carl. Listen, I'm Rick. I ain't Carl. If I was Carl, I'm gonna die in season 9. I'm Rick. I ain't ever dying. I don't know what season Carl dies in, spoiler alert. But I'm Rick Grimes, my friend. Carl. Anyway, I digress. No, these are not. So these look similar to the violet chanterelles, but here's how you know the difference. On the violet chanterelle, the violet chanterelle doesn't have gills. Normal chanterelles and violet chanterelles have waxy veins, but not gills. So this is not a chanterelle. Chances are this is poisonous, but I have not identified it yet. So I don't know. It could be edible, but it is not the mushroom we are looking for. I had spinal surgery 2 weeks ago, so I'm not supposed to be bending, lifting, or twisting. So I really got to stop bending down for these dang mushrooms. But I love mushrooms so much that I cannot help myself. If I lose you guys on cell service, I apologize. As we get farther into the woods, my cell service gets worse and worse. I'm hoping not to lose you guys. Hopefully the quality doesn't go down too much either. But we are deep in the forest right now. Eventually this will come out at the one end of my farm field. So that is what we are hoping for. And the live Silky says hi, and BW Wood Turning says mushrooms is my favorite thing to do to spend time in the forest. And of course, finding good chunks of wood to make art with. Guys, go check out BW Wood Turning. Check out his channel. It's been a while, my friend. Nice to see you here. But BW makes fantastic designs turning wood on a lathe. It is something that I've always wanted to do. And so I am always fascinated when I see him put out new content to see what kind of stuff he's getting into. He does a lot of live streams as well as some long form videos and a lot of updates from his shop. And so guys, go check out wood turning. And BW says, I did see your short. I've never found them in Denmark. So I've heard that they can be in Europe. I don't know if they're as far as Denmark. We did find a couple of violet chanterelles just walking along this trail, right at the start of this trail. I'll pick them later with my kids. But I've mostly been distracted on the live stream, so I haven't been paying as much attention to the bush as I should. Almost smells like my dog found a skunk, but it's not strong enough that she got sprayed, so we're good. Lily is right here taking a pee. Hi, Lily. So we are coming out of the forest. So this is technically part of my neighbor's property, hence why it's mowed. My fields are over here. But we are not gonna go bushwhacking through field. Lily, we're gonna take the nicely groomed trail back. So we are trespassing right now, but I have permission by my neighbor to use this trail. I have a trail that runs just over there, but because I had spinal surgery 2 weeks ago, I haven't groomed it. And so it's just a little not as nice to walk through as this one. And so we'll walk through their trail instead of mine until I can make mine better. And CVP says, you should play Red Dead Redemption on PS5, my man. What's the guy's name? Everyone tells me I look like him. Especially when I grow my beard out. I shaved my beard off a couple weeks ago. I had not shaved in 9 years, and I finally decided to shave, and it was devastating, so I decided to grow it back. So we're a couple weeks in trying to grow the beard back. And BW Woodturning says, by the way, if you ever want to get into woodturning, I'll be happy to guide you, and I even throw a few free lessons for you. Just find me in my Discord and we can set something up. BW, I am sure within a couple of years I will hit you up. Right now, I'm still focused on the homestead and just trying to build up my animals and my buildings and my structures. I got a couple more years worth of stuff to build. Next year, like this year, I'm putting a 50-foot sea can on the property. Next year, I will build a barn off of it. And I need to build another barn for my pigs that are raised in the forest. So I've got a little work ahead of me, but once I've got all my infrastructure built and my life settles down a little, then I would like to get into wood turning and metal forging. So I would like to get into some metal forging and some wood turning. They go hand in hand. You know, I could use the I could use the forging. So I think, what am I seeing here? No, that's not, just some wood. I can use the forging to make some knives, and then I can use the wood turning to make some nice wood handles. And so I think they go hand in hand. Lily! My dog took off in the bush, but she'll come back. And so, yeah, that is the plan. And Jericho says, what's a sea can? Think of it like SEA, like the ocean, a sea can. Those are those big shipping crates, those shipping containers. They're like 6 feet wide, 8 feet tall, typically 20 to 50 feet long. Think like when you're thinking on an ocean freight, those big containers that all your goods come in. So I have a 50-foot one, and within another week or two, I've got a company going to be hauling it out to my farm. And then I am going to, next year, build a barn off of it. I had spinal surgery, so I know I'm not going to get around to it this year. It's going to be a major build, and so that'll be next year's project. But I want to get the sea can on the property and in position this year so I can build next year. There's Lily. Lily, sometimes you scare me when you just come running out of the forest. And BW says, you are living my dream. Homesteading is not something we can do in Denmark. Not something you can do due to land access or legal issues. Is it a land access thing? Up here in northern Canada, we have so much available land. I have 156 acres here. And so there's a ton of people. We all have animals, and you know, we've got a nice big community of homesteaders and farmers. It's always fun when I'm talking to the commercial farmers, because us homesteaders, we treat all of our animals, whether they are going to be butchered or bred, we treat them all like pets. We take really good care of them. And then you talk to farmers where their animals are just for monetary gain. It's their job, it's their business. And we treat them different. Like, I will brush my cow, I'll pick off all the thistles. The farmers will laugh at me. My pigs, I sing to them when I feed them. And so when I'm out in the forest, I'm singing with my pigs, and the farmers will come visit and they'll think I'm insane because I sing to my pigs. But honestly, it calms them down. They come running over. They know it's me. It's a lot of fun. And so we treat our animals so different. So different. And Jericho says, Arthur, that's the guy's name in Red Dead Redemption. Yes, you got it, Arthur. So yeah, and our friend from Korea is still with us. Hello, my friend. I am glad that you've been able to hang out with us so long. And thank you guys, thank you everyone for joining us on these live streams. I have a lot of fun socializing with you guys. It's a lot of fun learning from you guys, teaching you guys, and just hanging out. I really, really, really enjoy the live streaming. I do make YouTube shorts and long forms, but the live streams are where it's at. So Lily, we're gonna come this way. This part of the trail, so this is my neighbor's property. This part of the trail, it's overgrown, but it actually connects to my trail. So this trail connects to my trail. And so I'm going to go that way. We're gonna bushwhack a little bit to get onto my land. Lily! Lily, come here! But I'd like Lily to know that because she took off that way. Come here, Lil! Lily! She's probably chasing a squirrel or a partridge, so we gotta give her a minute. Come here, Lil! Come here, Beans! Come here, Lily Beans! There's Lily! Come on, Lily, coming in hot. We're going this way, we're bushwhacking. Come on, Lily. Oh boy. She took that seriously. She's like, I'm gonna bushwhack for you, Dad. So this part of the trail is definitely more grown in. because I just, you know, haven't been grooming it. So this is my property, hence the property bars, and my trail. It runs all the way down along to the other side. I cut a couple fingers into the other field. Lily, Lily, come over here. Come over here, girl. I want to hang out over here. And Derico says, is partridge like a Cornish hen? We might find one if we walk in this section of the forest a little bit. Partridge is grouse. It's kind of a generic name that we call grouse. And so a partridge, there's kind of three main types that are in my area. There's ruffed grouse, spruce hens, and sharp-tail grouse. So if you Google Canada sharp-tail grouse, that's the birds we're talking about. Now, sharp-tails are pretty hard to hunt, honestly. They're very fast, very skittish, and they don't like to be on the ground much. Also, I really need to look up what this type of mushroom is. This orange mushroom right here, it's not a chanterelle, but I've been finding them all over the property. And so I'm gonna put one in my pocket. I'm gonna take this guy and I'm gonna put it in my pocket because we're gonna look it up later. Maybe I'll do that with you guys. Maybe we'll walk back over to the house and I will pull out my foraging guidebooks and we will figure out what this is. This right here is a lobster mushroom. This is a edible mushroom, a choice edible. This right here, lobster mushroom. And it looks fantastic. That one looks fully edible, very good. I'm not going to harvest it right now because I'm gonna come back out here with my kids and I will harvest that with my children because they love coming foraging with me and I want them to be excited by it. And so I'm gonna leave that mushroom there and I will come back for the trumpeter, the violet chanterelles and that lobster mushroom when my kids come home. So that is another choice edible mushroom. I am so grateful to my property that throughout the summer we have wild strawberries and wild raspberries. I don't know where my cow is. I'm hoping she didn't get out because I didn't turn the fence back on. We're gonna go over the fence over here. This section of the wire is down on the ground. Might have to look for my cow. Oh, there she is. She's good. Oh, hey, Gabby. Hey, girl. Hey, Gabby. So anyway, so the summer, we have tons of wild strawberries and wild raspberries. Come the fall, we have lobster mushrooms and chanterelles, violet chanterelles. And then I also have a lot of chaga on the property, which is good for making tea. Property's full of rose hips, also good for tea. I've got wild Saskatoons, choke cherries. I planted apple, plum, pear, and elderberry bushes. We have grouse, white-tailed deer. Of course, I'm on a lake, so I've got access to fresh fish whenever I want to go get it. Super, super blessed out here. The violet chanterelles and the lobster mushrooms are both choice edible mushrooms, meaning like that's top quality, best of the best. And so yeah, just super blessed out here. I'd like to find if I have any normal chanterelles. That would be nice. Peter, how you doing, Peter? So if I have any normal chanterelles, that would just be icing on the cake. Otherwise, I won't be too greedy. I'll be happy with what I got. Let's go this way back into the field. You stay over there, Gab. I don't want Gabby coming because I want her out there eating that tall grass, eating all the good stuff. Cows can be creatures of habit. And so if she spends too much time out in this field, she doesn't want to go out into this field. But the food is better over there for her right now. So we want to keep her out there. We're going to go into the house and we are going to look up this mushroom that's in my pocket. There be a mushroom in my pocket and I want to know what it is. So we're going to find it in our guidebooks and we are going to discover what it is together. And we got Horntail, the rooster. Oh, we got someone coming in the driveway. That's my wife. Okay guys, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna end the live stream because my wife and kids just got home. And I am going to do a YouTube short where I identify my pocket mushroom. So if you guys wanna see if this is edible and what this is, check my channel back later tonight and I will have a YouTube short up to tell you what that mushroom is. So goodbye guys, have yourselves a fantastic Monday and we will talk again.